Give it up for Corbin. Give him a huge round of applause. Woo!
Awesome, thank you. So unfortunately, Katherine was not able to join me this morning, but that's no problem. We have some really interesting stuff to talk about over the next 5 short minutes. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Corbin. I am one of the 2 co-directors for Hack the North, which is an annual hackathon that's held at the University of Waterloo in Canada. So, today we're going to be talking about crafting the hacker experience from the first encounter all the way through to the last. And the first question you might be asking is, well, what exactly do we mean by the hacker experience? If I asked you this question right now, you might say things like mentorship, workshops, collecting swag, of course. You might talk about eating food at the event, which, hopefully isn't too much pizza, or just working on the hack itself and doing what we do best at hackathons. But while all of that is undoubtedly important for organizing a good hackathon, that's exactly what I'm not going to be talking about today. All of this stuff goes on the weekend of your event, but the reality is there are a ton of little interactions that happen with your hackers both before and after the event. Now, we naturally remember first impressions and last impressions really well, so making sure that we cover the entire pipeline from first encounter to last is super important to make sure our hackers have the best experience. So first of all, what do we want to think about before the event? Well, did you guys see that on the slides? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So before the event, what you want to be thinking about is you have hackers who may or may not know what your hackathon is, and you're about to make your first point of contact with them. Now, for most of us, this will probably be through some form of social media. So this is an example of one of the social media posts that Hack the North would put up. And there's a couple things you want to keep in mind here. Number one, you want to be engaging with your copy, with using vibrant colors, making sure you have really clear call to actions, make sure that people know what to do to get involved with your event. But perhaps more importantly, you want to really make sure that at this point, you're representing your brand well. This is the first impression. This is the thing that people will remember most when they think about your event. So if you want to project yourself as a diversity-friendly hackathon, as an inclusive hackathon, make sure to use copy that expresses that. You want to make sure that people understand your character from the very first point of contact. Same thing goes for your website. Make sure you use inviting colors if that's how you want to come across. Make sure your copy tells them exactly how you want your hackathon to be perceived. So after you have people find out about your hackathon, they see your posts, whatever, probably the next step for many of us is registration or applications. Now, many hackathon applications probably look pretty similar. They're like a basic form. And the last thing we want is for people to just sit there and feel like they're going through a government form, just filling in the same information all the time. So another way you can really sort of get across your character to your hackers is by designing a really interesting application experience. So for example, with Hack the North, last year we did a chatbot application where when you signed up, you'd be like talking with a little bot. This year, as you can see on the slide, we did a postcard thing. So as you're applying, you'd like fill out this little postcard, then it would get mailed off to us, and then we would reply back. So these are just fun little things. And honestly, they're pretty fun for the dev team as well to sort of tackle these problems and make interesting experiences. But again, it comes back to this idea of selling who you are as a hackathon, selling your character, selling your values. All of these experiences, all of these points of contact are what's building that up before they even step foot on your venue. Finally, just before the event, once you have all your attendees figured out, you're probably going to have a whole bunch of mail, a whole bunch of questions about parts of your event. Here, you also want to focus on copy, because you want to make sure that everybody knows you're friendly, you're supportive, you're responsive, because then chances are they will carry that forward to their expectations for the event, and they'll come in with a positive mindset. So at this point, hopefully, you've got all your hackers, and they're all ready to go to the event. So what do we do at this point? Hopefully, they go through your event, they have an awesome time, but then there are still more interactions left even after they leave. So we go on to post-event. Now, I will be the first to admit that as a hackathon organizer, burnout after your event is pretty real. But that just makes it all the more important to really plan ahead for how you're going to craft the hacker experience after the event is over. So first thing is, there's going to be a bunch of little logistical follow-ups after the event, right? This could be anything from giving out prizes that weren't awarded at the event to travel reimbursements, or just simple lost and found. Now, while all of this may seem like just small logistical details, like I said before, last impressions matter. And the last thing you want is for people to go to your event, have an awesome time, and then be left with a bad taste in their mouth afterward just because you dropped the ball on something simple. But second, and perhaps more importantly, is actually creating memories. The problem with hackathons is that we all want to create a big impact in people's lives, but the problem is we only have 24, maybe 36 hours to do that, and when people are sleep deprived, working on their hacks, they might not have the best memories to realize what they learned at the event, to remember all the experiences they had, to remember the tech they learned, the people they met. One fantastic way to do this is by sharing pictures after the event. Again, super simple, but very important to make sure that they remember you for what you want them to remember. Sharing pictures after lets them relive those experiences, showing them what technologies they learned, showing them the people they met, showing them the awesome projects they built, and through all of that, you can help them relive that experience and really solidify those memories, carrying them forward in their lives. So, in summary, when we think about really creating a good hacker experience, we want to think about the entire pipeline, right from the first promotion they see all the way to the last email that they receive. Before the event, you want to make sure that you're telling people who you are and convincing them that that's a place where they want to be. After the event, you want to make sure that they remember you for all the awesome experiences they had at your hackathon. Building like a world-class event is what we all want to do. And to do that, we need to make sure that we put the hacker's experience at the forefront of our minds in everything we do throughout the entire planning process. And that's how we'll make truly amazing impact for our hackers. Thank you so much for listening. If you do want to reach out to us at any time, feel free to email myself or Katherine at these emails. Once again, my name's Corbin, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something.
That was amazing. Thank you, Corbin.